Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. And we shall start with our first participant, which is Kwan Liman from Malaysia. Kwan Liman.
Sorry, just now couldn't unmute. Ajahn, I'd like to check on contemplation on sensual pleasure and contemplation on feeling. Once I remember Ajahn said to contemplate the essential of the non-essential. So I contemplated whether I really need what I don't actually need. So for example, the other day someone offered milk tea with ginger. So I was tempted to have it, but I contemplated on seeing but not see. So I saw the milk tea, but I didn't follow the milk tea. And hearing but not hear. So I heard the offer milk tea, but I didn't follow what I heard. So I said, no, thank you. So is that what Ajahn meant, hearing but not hear, essential of the non-essential?
Well, basically it's to just merely hear and not have any emotional reaction to what you hear. Whether the sound is good or bad, you don't have like or dislike toward that particular sound. You don't react with craving for or having aversion for what you hear. Just merely listen.
Yeah. So when I heard milk tea, I heard the offer, but I did not accepted it. So I just drop it.
It doesn't mean whether you accept it or not, whether you wanted it or not. That's the question.
Oh no, I didn't.
If you didn't want it, then you can decline the offer. But if you wanted it, but you decline, it still doesn't mean that you are not reacting. You're reacting, but as a courtesy, you just react with your your decline. But actually, you still like to have it. So if you still like to have it, you want it, and you have to use the three characteristics of to teach your mind that whatever you want, it will end up in dukkha one sooner or later. Because what you want, you might not always get. And when you don't get what you want, then you will get dukkha.
Yeah. So I didn't take it. Yeah. Ajahn, can I ask another question on contemplation of feeling? When there is a fearful feeling in the heart, I contemplated on anicca, dukkha, anatta. After much contemplation, the feeling subsided. I mean, I have this feeling of fear arise because I am thinking and trying to push myself very much to dispose of property as my cash flow might not be able to sustain too long if I need to repay the loan. So I start to have this fear. So when I contemplated on anicca, dukkha, and anatta, this feeling subsided. And when I stopped thinking, this dukkha vedana also subsided. So when the mind is at peace and the feeling of fear has subsided, then I start to think of some solutions. Is that the right thing to do?
Well, the goal is to maintain calm, peace of mind, and have no suffering, no stress. So that's the goal. Is to maintain normality just like right now, your mind is normal.
Yes. So when the mind is fearful and not able to think, so I have to stop thinking, and until the mind is calm, then I have to think again how to solve the problem. Am I right? Because I cannot stop thinking all the time, but I still need to think of how of some maybe solutions to overcome this.
Well, when you think, you have to use the three characteristics as your instrument. See, that everything that you have problem with, they are temporary. Sooner or later, they will come to cessation. They'll come to an end.
Yes.
So the best thing is not to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, that's why I want to dispose of. So when I feel fearful, I contemplated that if I'm fearful of a property, then what if something happened to my body or myself? So I might not be able to pass the test if I cannot even pass the test of confronting a property or a house.
You still you're still attached to it, does it?
Because I want to get rid of it. So when we have craving not to have something, is also
vibhava tanha. If you have it and you cannot get rid of it, then you just have to live with it until you can get rid of it one day. If you cannot, then so it's either bhava tanha or vibhava tanha. The craving for being or not, craving for not being.
Yes.
So you have to get rid of this too. Don't crave for something you don't have, and don't crave of trying to get rid of something you have, that which you cannot get rid of.
Yes.
If you cannot get rid of it, then just live with it. Like painful feeling, when it appears, you cannot get rid of it. So you just have to learn to live with it by using equanimity. Calm your mind, stop the mind from reacting, stop the mind from having this craving of wanting the painful feeling to disappear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn. I understand.
So it's just two cravings, attraction for something or aversion for something, which causes a lot of stress today, nowadays. We are attracted to something, and when we don't get what we want, or we have aversion to something and we cannot get rid of what we want, what we don't want, then we have stress.
Yes. That's right.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Yes, good evening to you from here.
Ajahn, I have a question on something that occasionally happens to me during the meditation practice, and especially if I've been on a retreat. After maybe a couple of weeks, I usually begin to maintain mindfulness very well and become very calm. But what can happen is that in that state, sometimes a very strong memory from the past can suddenly come up, and it can be something, for example, that happened when I was a small boy, quite a traumatic thing, and I actually never, for many decades, had any conscious memory of something like this happening. So in the calm state, it somehow released a memory, and then that memory is normal in my normal consciousness. So I wonder if you could comment on that happening and how to deal with it?
Well, we cannot really figure out why or how it come up. But what we can do is how to deal with it when it comes up. Just by merely knowing. Just know it comes up, and whatever it is, you know it's gonna eventually disappear. So just treat it just like with the three characteristics. Everything is a phenomena, mental phenomena, natural phenomena that rise and cease due to certain conditions, such as your mind being calm, for instance. And then allow, because when your mind is not calm, you're producing thoughts, and this thought can block the other things that has been hidden in your subconsciousness. But once you stop producing thought, then when the mind becomes empty, then it gives room for the subconscious to come up. But whatever they are, they already are. The best way to deal with them is just to know them for what it is and leave them alone. Know them that they are anicca, they come up and they will disappear. Don't let them influence you in any way, let's put it that way. Just you remain calm and treat it like a movie you're watching. Everything in your mind is like a movie.
Right.
No matter how traumatic it can be sometimes, or how sweet it is. If it's sweet, you want to cling to it. If it's traumatic, you want to get rid of it. And then you get these two type of cravings, craving for being or not craving for not being. Then you have more stress from these cravings. But if you don't react with craving, you just merely accept them by knowing them. And then if you want to react, just tell your mind that you don't need to react because everything will come and go by itself sooner or later.
Okay.
And nothing that appears in your mind can hurt the mind if the mind doesn't react. It's only the mind that can hurt itself by reacting.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might have experienced some traumatic events in your mind, and you don't like it, and you don't want it to appear. This can already start you to have stress in your mind. But if you look at it calmly and say, "What can it do to you?" It just come up, and then it just appear, and then it will disappear sooner or later. But if you want them to disappear, maybe you can use a mantra if you like. If you feel it too strong for you to handle, then maybe you can use the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto. And then when your mind calm down, then this thing that appears will disappear also. With mindfulness, like mantra, it's like erasing everything that appears on your mental screen. If you don't want to erase, you can teach your mind that it is just a phenomenon, a natural phenomenon, anatta, something that you cannot, control or force it to go away. Sometimes if you use the mantra, it might not go away, or it can become worse. Then you have to then resort to mindfulness, to wisdom, and say, "Okay, can get rid of you. You want to stay? Let it stay."
Okay, that's very, very clear, very helpful, Ajahn.
Ultimately is to be able to just leave things alone.
Yeah.
Leave it comes and leave it stay and let it go when it go away. Just don't have any reaction. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, Koseng from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. Tonight I have a question to ask regarding the Mangala Sutra. And the first verse of the Mangala Sutra states not to associate with the fools, to associate with the wise, and honor those worthy of honor. So my question is that in this modern, the Buddha's book about this 2,500 years ago. So now in our this modern context now, what is considered as what is considered as a wise, and who are those that is considered as worthy of honor?
People who have Dhamma, like Buddha and his noble disciples. They are people that have Dhamma. And Dhamma means that they know what's right and wrong, what's good and bad for the mind. So you associate with these people who knows what's good for the mind. Nowadays, people don't know what is good or bad for the mind. They only know what is good or bad for the defilements. See? Like gambling, they think this is good for the defilement. Yeah. Drinking, this is good for the defilement. Have what you call sexual relationship, uncontrolled sexual relationship, for instance. These are considered harmful to the mind. See? But people nowadays, since they didn't have any study about this thing, they are being brainwashed by their own delusion. They think what is bad is as good and what is good is bad. They think religion is bad. They think no religion is good. Because when there's no religion, you can do anything that your defilement wants you to do. You can drink, you can take drugs, you can gamble, you can have all sorts of sexual relationship encounters with anybody you want to. So this is bad for the mind because eventually it's going to cause stress or depression. People who get involved with this activity usually end up killing themselves or overdose from the usage of these drugs and alcohol. This is because they don't know that these things are harmful to them. So if you associate with, can you turn out the background noise? Okay.
My children, they are talking outside,
Okay.
outside the room. And
so basically, you have to associate people with people who has the Dhamma. Usually, people who knows what's good and bad for the mind. Keeping the precept is good for the mind. Doing charity work is good for the mind, and this sort of things. So you don't want to associate people who likes to drink, who likes to gamble, who likes to go out every night having fun in bars and pubs and things like that.
What about smoking of cigarettes?
Smoking is not considered a vice, because it doesn't cause you any lack of mindfulness. You can still be in full control of your thoughts and action. But when you're drunk or when you take drugs, then your mindfulness is being weakened, and maybe you might be doing something that you shouldn't be doing and you couldn't stop it. But smoking doesn't cause you any drunkenness. It doesn't make you drunk. But it can harm your body if you smoke too much, that's all. But it's not considered to be a vice, so it wasn't prohibited in Buddhism. You can smoke if you like. But you have to know moderation in everything that you do. Even eating is not harmful, but if you eat too much, it can be harmful. It causes you to have overweight, it causes you to have diabetes, have high blood pressure, and so forth. So anything that is over moderation is not considered good, even though if taken in moderately, will not harm the body or the mind. Okay.
Ajahn, can I just ask one more question? Then the second verse are suitable to live in a suitable locality. This locality, what suitable locality, what does it refers to?
Well, physically, it's a safe place, a clean place, like good air, good conditions all around physically, good neighbors, and so forth. No, neighbors are for your mental health. You want to live in a neighborhood where people are quiet and law-abiding, virtuous, and meditative people who doesn't cause any trouble to other people. So this is the suitable place of living. The best place if you are a meditator is to live in the monastery or the temple. This is the best suitable place to live. But if you still have to live as a lay person, then you choose a neighborhood that is more or less a peaceful neighborhood. People don't drink, don't get drunk, don't come out shooting pistols in the nighttime, things like that.
And Ajahn, and to have done meritorious actions in the past, does this refers to doing dana in the past?
Dana, sila, and pavana. It means that you'll find it easier to do it now if you have done it before. It is something that will linger in your habit. So when you're born in this lifetime, if somebody teaches you to do charity, if you have already done that before, you'll find it easy for you to take up. But if you haven't done any charity before, even if somebody tells you to do charity, you might not want to do it because you haven't done it before and couldn't see the benefit from doing it.
I recall that when I was in pre-universities, I come across a so-called an appeal letter for, I think it's associations for the visually blind, and I have that thought of giving some money to this charity, even though at that time I was still a student. So now when I think about it, could it be a so-called something which I've done in the past before?
Yes, if you do it out of your own initiation without any prodding from other people, it means you already have this inclination. You have done it before. Same thing with meditation. Some people just want to go stay quiet someplace alone because this is what they used to do before in the past life. So same thing with drinking. Some people just don't like to drink. It's because they used to keep the precept. They used to, So whatever you used to do, if they are good, we call it a meritorious deed or wholesome deed. In something that they used to do which is bad, we call it unwholesome deed. And they can harm you, or at least block your path to a better way of life. Because what you used to do will tend to have influence on your action today. So that's what it means. What you did in the past will have influence on what you do today. That's why we have different way of living, right? We have different profession. We have different. This is because in our previous lifetime, this is what we used to do. So in this lifetime, you continue on with what you used to do, what you used to like to do. If you have a choice. But sometimes you might not have a choice, so you might do something that you might find you're not happy with. But sooner or later, if you can switch and change to something better that you like, you'll switch to something that you find more comfortable with.
Okay, and to set oneself on the right course, So, so does it mean setting oneself right course referring to sila, dana, sila, and bhavana?
That's right. That's the course. That's the best course for your existence, for your mind, for your life, because it leads only to peace and happiness and the cessation of all stress and suffering.
I think
Okay.
that's all. Thank you, Prajan.
All right. Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Just listening in, no question at the moment. We believe in Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay, Apalachita from Dubai. How do you pronounce your last name? Gosi?
Ghosh, yeah, Ghosh.
Ghosh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Ajahn, I have no question, but I just wanted to say I love coming for every Tuesday session, but in Dubai we have Ramadan, so every timing has changed. So from next week onwards, I request if I have permission to join an hour later because everything has got a bit shifted. So is that okay?
It's all right with us.
Yes, okay.
Maybe if you come an hour late, if the room is full, you might find you have to wait.
That's okay.
I think boy will know who you are. If he sees your name, he'll let you in when you show up.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Okay. We'll go to Ryan next. Ryan from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. My question is it important to have nimittas for meditation?
Not at all. Nimitta actually can be an obstruction, can be a distraction to your meditation. The goal is to have an empty mind. See? So that way, to get to that empty mind, you have to stay focused on your meditation object and not be distracted by anything that appears during meditation.
Ajahn, the next question is, so if my meditation object is the breath, is it important where I place the attention on my physical body, like the tip of the nose or the forehead?
Yes, usually it's recommended to stay at one point, which is the tip of the nose, where the breath will come in and goes out.
Okay, Ajahn, would it be recommended to vary where we place this attention sometimes? Because I think if we try to keep at one point continuously, like sometimes I feel like I'm not very motivated because I'm always using the same meditation object. So sometimes the mind feels like I want to change the way I meditate a bit.
Well, if you find that you cannot stay focused on your breath, you might take a tour of your body, go through the 32 parts of the body, recite it mentally. Hair of the head, hair of the body, nail, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, bones, heart, lungs, and so forth. You can do this at the start of your meditation when your mind is still a little bit restless and won't stay focused on one point, on one thing. Then you might have to let it roam to the rest of the body, all the parts of the body, or some parts of the body, maybe not all the 32 parts. Or some people might use some chanting or something, because the mind is still quite active and hard to stay focused on one point. Then you have to relieve this energy by letting it do something like chanting. Reciting, for me, when I first started, I have to recite the sutta, recite the foundation of mindfulness sutta. After I finished, then I find that I could then focus on my breath. Okay.
Got it. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Ajahn, don't have any questions tonight. Just happy to be listening in. Adeline listening in the other room with the younger ones.
Okay. Fine. Maybe she come in later.
Yeah, she's coming later, maybe, yes.
Okay, fine. We'll go to Christine from Penang.
Ajahn, how is your back? Better?
Oh, it's the same, not better, not worse. It only becomes painful when I walk. But when I sit or lay down, there's no pain. So it's just part of aging, I guess. The muscle becomes stiff when I do walking or standing.
Is it sleep disc cause? No. Is it a sleep disc problem?
It happens when I get older. It wasn't like this when I was younger. So I blame it on aging.
Because I had a sleep disc before, so when I have had a very bad pain, so I thought that Ajahn having sleep disc or anything. No.
No, there are many causes for having pain in your back. Yeah. So as for me, I analyze it as a result of aging. Because it didn't happen to me before. It has become quite obvious this year. But before that, I have some, but it's not as prominent. But it's something I have to learn to live with. I guess that's the best way.
Maybe have body checkup. Yeah, Ajahn, actually, I have no question, but I want to report some. This morning, when I sleep midnight, then suddenly I wake up, I feel hungry. I do some light meal. Then after that, I do chankama, and it's a long time I never do. So when I walking for about 45 minutes, then I only realize what is called stay with the one who knows, but the understanding of the stay with the one who knows is very short period. So after that, I contemplate that this is I cannot focus back the mindfulness and the sharp awareness. So I contemplate, I change as this is anatta. It is out of my control, and this is anicca. It can't go well. So is it a good how do I say it when I cannot focus?
It just means that you don't have enough strength to do it. So so then you have to accept this, and then wait until you regain more strength, and then you do it again. It's like exercising your body. After you walk for a while, you feel tired and could no longer walk. Okay, then you have to take a rest. But then afterwards, after a while, you have regained more strength, then you can continue on do more walking. Same way with mindfulness. Maybe when you get to a point, then you just run out of strength to do mindfulness. Then you take a break, and then when you feel that you have the strength to do, then you start doing it again.
But I feel happy because so many years I never have this kind of understanding, although it's very short while.
Yeah, if you do a lot of mindfulness, your mind will become more empty and blank, and then you'll start to see the one who knows more clearly.
Okay, I will continue practice. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, good. We'll go to Sao Paulo. Alfredo in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ubeka. That's your call sign. Hi, how are you? Good.
Good. I administration my effort.
You've been what? Your effort?
Administration. Samavayama.
Samavayama. Yeah.
Yes.
Right effort. You've been putting right effort. What you do?
Yes.
What did you do? What did you do? Meditate? Walk meditation or what?
Sitting meditation.
Sitting meditation. Not bike riding. Bike riding is not called samavayamo.
Yes, only I travel.
Okay.
Okay.
You have nothing to offer. No question.
No question. I was seeing the Eckhart Tolle, the present moment. Present moment is the same Sati, né, Bante?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Okay, then. All right. Good to see you.
I notice I escape from word, Bante. It is a bad thing, Bante. Is a desire to not be.
I don't understand what you say. I'm sorry.
The desire for not being.
Yeah, craving for not being.
Craving for not being.
Yeah. If you're here, you want to go someplace else, this is considered craving for not being here.
Yes.
And if you cannot go, then you feel stressful, sad, or depressed.
Yes.
So have no cravings is the best thing. When you have no cravings, your mind become peaceful and doesn't become restless. You become peaceful, and you feel happy. And in order to do this, you have to have mindfulness, have sati all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. The same of knowing, né, Bante?
Yeah.
The real perception.
Knowing is always there, but it's usually blocked by our thinking, our thoughts. So we don't see the knower. We just see our thoughts all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Notice breath.
Yeah, just watch the breath.
Yes.
And then your mind will become calm and empty.
Yes.
All right.
Right, Bante.
Okay. Next, Declan, are you still in Thailand or back in Ireland now?
No, I'm still here. But I'm just getting some repairs done to the condo that I have to do for the condo below me. So responsibility and doing some papers for my wife. So I'm still here, stuck in a way. I don't really have any questions, Ajahn. Just listening and taking notes and enjoying the Dhamma. Thank you very much.
Maybe later, if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay.
Fine, Ajahn.
Anura and Ramya from New Zealand. Quite late for them, quite early for them now.
Yeah, good
4
evening.
o'clock, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's 2:30 and 2:40 in the morning.
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, good evening, Thailand. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have no question, Thailand, but just a comment that I try to meditate in the morning before going to work. I've been consistently doing that for a while, so it's making much better at work as well.
Good.
That's much peaceful. Yeah.
The more you meditate, the better it is for your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll go to Canada to Mandy Smith.
Good morning, Ajahn.
Hi.
Good to see you. It's been a hard week. My dear friend passed away, and he has a brother that is now feeling lost, and I've been listening. He's been angry, he's grieving. He doesn't have a strong Buddhist background, but is not opposed to it. It's just, it was hard questions like, why should we continue on living? and the world, he was saying the world is ecologically destroyed and, was very low. And I understand that, he's venting. But what type of advice do you have for someone who can't see the reason to live?
Well, to tell you the truth, we should be here in the first place, because the world is not a place worth living in. Because this is dukkha. See, once we are born, we all have to come to face with all types of suffering, aging, sickness, and death. Everybody has to meet this, but we forget this, and it only comes up when something happens close to you. That's all. So just tell the truth that we should be here in the first place. So our goal is to stop coming back. Don't reborn. Yeah. And the way to stop reborn is to practice meditation and to get rid of all our cravings. If we can do this, then we won't come back, and then we won't have this problem the next round. If we don't, we'll come back and we'll have the same problem the next time around. Okay, maybe this is a tough advice, but it's a bitter medicine. If you can take it, it will kill your ailment, your problem once and for all. So at least give him a reason to live. The reason to live is to stop your cravings, to stop this madness, this round of madness, this round of suffering, endless round of suffering, by practicing charity, morality, and meditation. And then there's a goal for continue on living. Because having a human birth is the highest opportunity, highest form of luck. Because as a human, you are entitled to come across the teaching of the Buddha. Once you can access to the teaching of the Buddha and understand what he wants us to do, and if we could do it, then we will solve our problem, which we are facing right now, once and for all. So tell him that this is the place where we all should be here, because everyone who comes here will be subjected to the same experiences that he is experiencing now. Not just him himself, everybody, you, yourself, me, and anybody on this earth. They have to meet death of someone or themselves sooner or later. So this is not a place to be here. We are driven by our delusion to come to this place. So we have to overcome this delusion by applying the teaching of the Buddha, using the wisdom of the Buddha to teach us that we should be here. And what brings us here is our cravings, our desire, especially our desire for sensual pleasure. And if we have sensual pleasure, desire, then we need to have a body to satisfy our desire. So that's why we keep taking birth, taking a body when we don't have one. And once we have a body, then we have to face this problem of aging, sickness, and death of yourself and of the people close to you. So the reason to continue on living is to stop this thing that keeps you coming back and face this problem. And the way to stop it is to practice mindfulness, practice keeping the precepts, and practice mindfulness and wisdom. Then he might become enlightened in this lifetime and don't have to come back anymore. Tell him if he doesn't do this, he'll keep coming back and face the same old problem. And this is not only the first time that he had faced this problem before. He had faced this problem millions of times before, but he couldn't remember it, that's all. So you have to tell the truth. Dhamma is the truth. But whether he can accept it or not, that's another story. Whether he believes what you say or not, that's another story.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Next, your name is in Chinese character, so I cannot pronounce it. I'll read it. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Malaysia.
Okay. And your name?
My name is Call.
Call.
Yeah, I have a doubt. Okay. Because of my brother travel abroad, so recently I started to take care of my father who had a stroke. So in order to make my father live a healthy life, I started to formulate a series of activity like eat healthy and start rehabilitation. But however, when all that thing did not go accordingly, I began to have tanha. So I began to use various means to make my dad proceed according to the plan. Yeah, at first I wish my dad can have a healthy life, but at the end become my tanha.
Well, see, what you're trying to do is wrong, because you first have to consult him first, whether he agrees with your plan or not. If he doesn't agree with your plan, then you cannot do anything, because it's his life you're dealing with, not your life. If it's your life, then you can do what you want to do. But with other people's life, you have to talk with them first to see whether they agree with what you want them to do or not. So this is wrong.
But sometimes I will feel guilty if I advise, but my dad refused to do it, then I leave it. I will feel like guilty because I'm the son, but I didn't take care of my father.
You take care of your father in the wrong way. You treat him like a servant and you're the master. It should be the other way around. You should treat him the master and you're the servant. And your duty is to wait for his command. Wait for him to ask you to help him to do something. If he doesn't ask you to do anything, then you don't have to do anything. Okay. You want to take over his life, see, and which he doesn't want you to do. Everybody doesn't want to be taken over by someone else, no matter how good intention that is. But it's wrong, because people don't want to be told what to do.
Okay, understand, Bante.
Okay. So wait for him or tell him, Father, you need anything? You want me to do something? Please let me know. I'm here ready for you 24 hours a day. That's all you can do.
Okay.
All right. And both of you will be happy. He will be happy and you will be happy, because you're not at odds with each other. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Bante.
Next, Ricardo from Uruguay. Hi.
Hello, Bante. Nice to see you all. Thank you for your advices. No questions today. I just would like to share something. I think it's good. And mainly it's because of your teachings. And that is that on May 2nd, I will take votes as an Anagarika. I will become an Anagarika. And we are bringing a Buddhist monk. He was born in Mexico and now he lives in Malaysia. And he will come to Uruguay and make 7 members of our Sangha to become Anagarikas. So I feel very confident and very happy to take votes. It won't be too long, like 3 months, something like that. But I want to express my deep gratitude to you for leading me and our companions to take this path. So
you should thank the Buddha. You should thank the Buddha. I'm just a messenger.
Good messenger.
Yeah. Because without the Buddha, I wouldn't be doing this thing myself.
That's true. That's true.
We should never forget the Buddha. He's he should be our supreme inspirator.
Yes, it is. It is.
We should be forever grateful of him for teaching the Dhamma to us, to everybody. Should he decide not to teach, then we won't be here today talking about this thing that we are doing right now.
Right.
So don't ever forget about the Buddha.
All right.
I see some people trying to use the Buddha's teaching and not even mention one word about him, which I find it sad, because the Buddha might represent religion, and nowadays people are afraid of religion.
True.
So they don't want to say anything that has to do with religion. So they want to treat it like it's like a psychological practice, mental, scientific, which is true. The Buddha's teaching is scientific more than ritualistic. But it's just the way the followers have twisted around nowadays and turn Buddhism into a ritualistic practice, not a scientific practice. That's all.
It's true. Plus, sometimes it's turning, I think, this spirituality as materialistic, and they sell all this knowledge, and they never said this is mindfulness comes from Buddha or
That's right.
something like that. And they teach the same as the Buddha, not saying it belongs to the Buddha. That's the problem with the royalties, because Buddha didn't have copyrights, so he didn't get.
No, he do it as a charity.
Yes, that's true. The Dhamma is for free for everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah.
But our respect, our gratitude should at least be acknowledging the source of this teaching, where it comes from.
Yes.
Okay, well, happy to hear that you're gonna take up this practice for 3 months.
Yes.
So it was just like when you come and stay with us on the mountain, right?
Yes, sure.
Keeping the precepts, and what else? Eating once a day or not?
Once a day, yes. No money, 10 precepts.
Okay. Stay put, don't go anywhere. Don't go shopping, don't go anywhere.
We will go to a hill far away in the countryside and stay there. At the end, I will go with a monk. His name is Bante Rahula, to do like a tour. We will go to Brazil, probably, Colombia, Ecuador, and Mexico.
Okay. To teach to other people?
Yeah, retreats.
Set up retreat. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Help other people start practicing.
Excuse me?
To help other people to start practicing the Buddhist teaching.
Yes.
Okay.
There are many sanghas in Latin America now growing and expanding.
Okay.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy your practice.
Yes.
Okay.
I will. Thank you.
Next, Dean from London.
Good evening, Ajahn. Thank you for the fun in the Dhamma. I have one question which I contemplate for 5 days, but I think I should consult you. For a question about Kamavadi, teaching about Buddha's teaching about action and the practice of virtue. In this lifetime, I made many bad actions, and for these bad actions, especially the severe ones, what is the way to attend to this? For example, should I go find the people and places to make right the wrong I did in any way possible?
No, it's already gone. You cannot make it right. What you can do is to prevent yourself repeating the same mistake again. That's all. So use it as a lesson, a reminder that this is not something you want to do again. But as far as making right with people, if you have the opportunity to meet the person that you caused them harm and you want to show that you're sorry, you can do that also. But you don't have to seek them out just for this purpose. What's more important is to accept that what you did was wrong and not try to repeat it again.
I use it to reflect to try to find deeper understanding. Ajahn, another thing, one last thing. I want to ask you to maybe talk a bit more about this. When I contemplate about the benefit I've received from many sources throughout my life, the people who share their life, their Dhamma, and the events that happen, many things are not coincident. So in the meditation, I feel gratitude arising. And I want to, it's very natural that the attention go backwards into showing gratitude to all these people, yourself, and many other people at different stages of their practice. And I could only think of, like, including Buddha and all the Arahants and all the monks. So the gratitude go to every being that shared their Dhamma with me. That's how I'm proceeding, because many people are not yet perfect like myself, but I would still like to acknowledge that they have shared with me their Dhamma. I want to ask Ajahn, can you talk a bit about this phrase that I'm contemplating on, which is practice Dhamma according to the Dhamma. Can you talk a bit more about this?
Well, I think it's a waste of time, really. What you should be contemplating on is anicca, anatta. Everything is anicca, everything is anatta. So that when you come across them, then you will know how to deal with them. Just leave them alone, let them go. Everything else is useless. This is the best form of contemplation. It's the three characteristics and the Four Noble Truths.
Yes.
So I think you should spend your time on contemplating on these two things, the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for bringing me back to this. You said it to me before.
Yeah. If you cannot contemplate on this, then at least stop thinking altogether, using mantra Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Better than allowing your mind to think all about all the other things, which doesn't contribute to your spiritual well-being. Okay.
Thank you. That's really good.
All right. Sometimes life is so simple, you make it so difficult.
Every frequently.
Yeah. Well, you have to think about so many things.
Oh, habit pattern. No, I will practice.
Okay. Sing less or stop singing altogether. Or if you have to sing only about anicca, dukkha, anatta.
And the form of the truth.
Yeah. So that's matter. That's all. That's what it all matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, Evie from Indonesia. Today I have many people visited from Medan. I think almost 100 of them came to the temple today from Medan.
Wow.
You know them? Have you heard of them before?
I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe one day I will come to see Ajahn too. Maybe next year. I wish. Yeah, I still not have question.
Good.
Just for
Having no
listening.
question is good. That means you know everything already.
Yeah. Sometimes I can know what should I have to do. So I think no need to ask.
Right. What you need to do is meditate.
Yeah, maybe
Get
the
into
more
jhana. Get into jhana. That's what you need to do.
maybe the more we meditate, the more we know what have to do and what no have to do.
Yeah, what more not to do.
Yeah. Just like that, Ajahn.
Okay, good. I'll go to Geng Yenso from Penang. Geng.
Ajahn. Good evening. Yeah. No question, Ajahn.
Okay. I never heard any question from you, I think, in all these years, which is good. Okay, I'll go to Diana. Diana from Wales.
Greetings, Tanajan. I have maybe one question. I got myself upset about something, and even though I told myself it didn't matter and it was, not permanent, and I couldn't stop myself getting upset. So, is it just more meditation practice?
That's why you need more meditation practice. You know, it doesn't matter what your defilement doesn't believe you, see? Because you don't have enough mindfulness to stop your defilement yet. So you have to practice more meditation to stop your defilement.
One thing I found really helpful that you say, sometimes it's hard to let go of things from the past, but you say, just leave them alone. And I think that's really helpful.
Yes. Okay, good. All right. Happy to hear that. Okay, next, Sweden Czech from Vancouver, Canada.
Ajahn?
Hello, Ajahn.
No question, but I definitely don't know everything. Definitely don't know everything already. But I really like how you so brutally honest about about Mandy's question about life is suffering, and that's I think I really love that honest, I appreciate that honesty from you, and not in the conventional way. I always hear when people try to advise people that doesn't feel the need or want to live anymore. Usually the advice is very different from what you just give. It's like pound in the heart kind of advice. It's so powerful at the same time beautiful. I just really appreciate that advice just now. Yeah.
What about you, Sri?
No questions, Tanajan. Thank you. Thank you for your teaching.
All right, I'll go to Koi Samak. Koi Samak.
Hi, Tanajan. Thank you.
From Brazil. Where are you from? Brazil, Sao Paulo, or in?
I'm living in a city that calls São Carlos. São Carlos. This is the name of the city. Yeah, I'm studying here. When I go out of monastery, I came to here to finish my college in computer.
Okay.
I'm studying computation. So I would like to ask you, Ajahn, when use Brahma Viharas, generate Brahma Viharas is useful, and when is better just to watch the fingers cease, the feelings, the bad feelings like fear, hate, just cease and don't generate Brahma Viharas. Sometimes I feel that it's not natural to generate these feelings. It's like I saw that the metta, the mudita is being created, but this is not natural. It's like I know that I'm just generating this is not true, like the bad feelings. So I don't know how to use this, or when is it just better to watch and wait these things cease.
See, to have the true Brahma Vihara, you have to make your mind happy first. When you are happy, then you can then give loving kindness, giving compassion, giving sympathetic joy to other people. So what you need to do is to meditate to get into jhana, to get to upekkha first. Once you have upekkha, you're happy, then you can then share your happiness, help other people, do things for other people with love. But if you're not happy, you will not be able to do anything for other people. So make yourself happy first. And the best way to be happy is to meditate until you get into jhana. The Buddha said that's the best form of happiness. Happiness from the peace of mind that arises from entering to the fourth jhana. Once you have that happiness, then you will feel like you want to share with other people. So when you see people suffer, you want to help them. If you see people not happy, you want to make them happy by giving them something or doing something for them. So this is what you need to do first to get real Brahma Vihara. You first have to have upekkha first, real upekkha for meditation. Not something you generate by your thoughts. This is not real. Okay.
Okay, I got it. So the better thing is just to observe these feelings of these bad feelings of hate and things like this. Just observe this arise and go.
You mean the feeling of hatred when you have hatred arising in your mind?
Sorry, excuse me.
What do you mean by watching what? What are you referring to?
Because sometimes I try to change my feelings. For example, if I'm feeling hate or something like this, I just try to put a little metta, a little karuna I just to create that.
No, you have to use the mantra to erase these bad feelings, bad thoughts from your mind. The mantra is like an eraser on the blackboard. When you write something on the blackboard and you want to erase it, you have to have an eraser. So mantra will erase all your bad thoughts. When you start to feeling bad or thinking bad about something, then just keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Then eventually your bad thought will disappear.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Use
you.
mindfulness. You need mindfulness to to get rid of your bad thoughts.
Okay.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Ajahn. Ajahn, no questions for now.
Okay, no question.
Thank you.
Okay. Who else in this room who hasn't yet asked any question? I think everybody has. So maybe I'll go to Facebook first. Do we have any question for Facebook on how?
We have one question from Facebook, Dhamma from the asking, and from Leon, the question: can a person accumulate merit from doing meditation?
Yes, meditation is another form of merit. Meditation, keeping the precept or charity. What you get is good feeling from doing these things, and you can accumulate this thing in your mind to keep you happy. When you give to charity, you feel happy. When you keep the precept, not hurting other people, you feel happy. And when you meditate and your mind becomes calm, you feel happy. Merit is good feeling or happiness. So yes, every time you meditate, but you have to succeed though. If you haven't yet succeeded, then you cannot yet reach the merit that you should be getting from meditation. So you have to succeed, meaning your mind has to become calm, like entering into the jhana. Then you can feel the happiness from meditation. Okay, that's all from Facebook tonight.
One more question.
Okay.
From Ting, dear Ajahn, is it beneficial to do chanting and then jump straight to study the Dhamma when there is not enough time for meditation practice? Please advise.
Well, eventually you're going to have to meditate to get anywhere. Just studying the teaching alone is not sufficient to get you to enlightenment. In order for you to get to enlightenment, you have to meditate, and also you have to study. You need both. So you cannot skip meditation. So I think you should try to find time to do meditation. I mean, chanting is a form of meditation, but it's not a complete form. It's only it's more like developing mindfulness when you chant, to prevent your mind from thinking, to stop your mind. But in order to stop your mind completely, you need to use something like the breath, watching your breath, and to get it into jhana. So if you chant, after you finish chanting, maybe you should try to meditate, watch your breath, or recite Bhutto, Bhutto. And you can find other time to study the teaching. You can study anytime you want. But when you chant and meditate, you want to meditate to calm your mind. And actually, you don't have to study too much yet. All you need to know is how to meditate. That's all you need to know. How to develop mindfulness, for instance, and how to meditate, how to get into jhana. That's all you need to know. You don't have to study the whole, everything like wisdom and anything, because it's too far ahead of your practice. You are just at the beginning. So you should just concentrate on studying where you are, what you need to do now, that's all. And then when you advance, as you progress, then you can study further. Okay.
No
we have a newcomer just in B. Ravin from Bangkok.
Good evening, Ajahn. Actually, I'm not in Bangkok. I'm in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam.
I see.
I just landed an hour ago.
And
I'm on a business trip.
Just got there, huh?
Yes, just got there. I just arrived in my hotel room. So I saw that still got some time. So I thought I'd come in and and say hi to you.
What time is it now? Same time as in Thailand?
Same time, yes.
Nine
Same time
o'clock,
zone.
9:15.
9:15, yes.
Okay. So you're on a business trip?
Yes.
Okay.
For 3 days, I'll be here until Saturday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll be working with Shell Vietnam team. And then on Saturday, I'll do some sightseeing before I fly back to Bangkok in the evening.
Okay. You have anything to ask?
Actually, not for the time being, but maybe I will try to find some time to do some meditation and be mindful wherever I go, because I was warned that there are some petty theft around. So I will use mindfulness of my surroundings wherever I go.
Okay. Are you traveling alone or you with a group?
Alone.
Alone.
I came in alone.
Okay. This is your first time to be alone, travel alone?
No, it's my first time in Vietnam, but I have traveled alone on business trips before. But,
I see, okay. All right. I hope you have a safe trip and beneficial trips. Accomplish what you came for.
Thank you, Prajan, and I will see you again next Tuesday in the Zoom once I'm back.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Prajan.
Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. Just listening in, no questions.
Okay. And now I think we can go back to whoever wants to ask more questions. If you want to ask any question, just raise your hand and mute your microphone and go and speak. Anybody?
Ghost.
Okay, Aparajita.
Yes, actually, I have one question. I have been following your instructions and trying to meditate and just focusing on the breath. I find moments of quietness, and then, of course, after a while, my mind starts to go off. So then I stop. Should I just take up shorter periods and focus on getting it clear? Or should I just say, no, I have said, I'm going to sit for 40 minutes or 1 hour and keep trying to generate that kind of quietness?
Just keep focusing on your breath.
Okay.
Unless you feel that you can no longer focus, and if you still want to continue in sitting, you might use a mantra instead.
Okay. Okay.
Because sometimes maybe your mindfulness has become weakened and you cannot watch your breath. Then you can use the mantra to help you generate more mindfulness. But you have to be persistent. You have to force yourself to do it, because by that time you just don't want to do any more meditation. But if you want to advance and be able to sit longer, this is the time when you have to keep pushing yourself. By keep reciting the mantra, Bhutto, 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 even though you don't feel like doing it. If you can do it, eventually the resistance will disappear, and you'll find that your mind become calm and peaceful, and you can continue sitting. Because at this time your defilement is becoming stronger. Your defilement wants to go see things, want to hear things, want to do things. So you find it very difficult to focus on your breath. So you might need to switch to a mantra or chanting to keep the mind occupied. But it's not easy. But if you want to advance, you want to move forward, you have to push yourself to do this thing. And when once you have overcome the defilement, then Once you define and stop resisting, then you'll find your mind will become peaceful, and you can continue on sitting. So yes, if you can sit as longer, try to push yourself. It doesn't hurt to sit longer.
Oh, no, okay, I will.
Yeah, this is the way that you move forward in your practice. Keep increasing the length of time that you sit. 30 minutes, may continue for another 10 minutes or something. Just keep pushing. And you'll find that next time when you sit, you can sit longer. Okay.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Ricardo, from Uruguay.
Thank you, Tanajan. First of all, I forgot happy spring or happy autumn to everybody.
It's happy summer here in Thailand. It's happy summer. We just got started with the summer. It's gonna get hot in Thailand. We just come out of the winter on the cool season.
Oh. All right. Okay.
In Thailand, we don't have 3 seasons. We have hot, cold, and rainy season. No spring or autumn. We don't have spring or autumn.
Okay.
Hot, cold, or rain.
Happy summer then.
Happy summer.
Tanajan, I would like you to advise about forgiveness. Although I know intellectually that a mind that doesn't judge doesn't need any forgiveness, especially for other people's actions, I would like to hear from you if the Buddha talked about forgiveness and how we should lay people apply that on our daily life, please. Thank you.
If you look at everything like you look at the weather, then there's no need to forgive. Do you forgive the wind, the storm, the rain when it does something bad to you? No, you accept it. Our problem is we don't see everything as natural phenomena. We see them as human or animals, and so then we start to have grudges on them, angry at them. But if you look at everything as anatta, Buddha said everything is anatta. No self. So who are you angry at? At the wind, at the rain, and at the water element or the earth element, at the hair, or at the skin. Everything is anatta. So you cannot get angry at anything. You just have to accept the truth. What happens, happens. And there's no, why should you get angry and hurt yourself that way? When you get angry, you hold a grudge. It's yourself who is hurting yourself, not the object of your anger. So this is wisdom, see. Use wisdom. Try to treat everything like the weather. Because they are natural phenomena. There's no particular person doing this thing. These things are caused by condition. Condition arise and causes things to happen. So if you can see everything as a work of nature, then there's no need to get angry or no need to forgive.
Yes.
Okay. Always come back to the 3 characteristics.
Yeah.
Anicca, anatta. Things happen and it's already disappeared, it's already gone, and you still keep holding a grudge and couldn't go to sleep over it. You're the stupid one. You're the foolish one.
Yes.
So don't forget anatta. Anatta is a really good way of looking at everything. If you see everything as anatta, then there's nothing to do. You just have to accept them, like the weather. When it rains, you accept the rain. You don't get angry at the rain for causing problem with your house, for instance. Like the other days, we have hail in northern Thailand, in Chiang Mai. They have hailstorm, and this hail breaking the roof, the roof of the houses. But people don't get angry at the hail. What can they do, right? But if someone throws a stone at your house and break your window, you get angry at that person. Why? It's the same thing. It's the same result, same destruction. So try to look at everything as anatta. And there's no need to get angry or no need to forgive.
Thank you.
Okay. The reason why you want to forgive is to get rid of your anger. But if you have no anger, then there's no need to forgive. If you see everything as anatta.
Yes.
Okay. Can you do that?
I'll try.
Do you agree with what I said?
100%. Thank you.
You need ubekkha in order to be able to do it. If you have ubekkha, then you can just leave things alone. So try to do more meditation, do more mindfulness. We have too much wisdom already. We know too much, but we cannot apply what we know. We don't have enough strength to resist our defilement. Our defilement always wants to react. So mindfulness is very essential. Buddha said the most important Dhamma is mindfulness, sati.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
All right, we have Evie raising her hand. Evie from Medan.
Yeah, now I have question, Ajahn, regarding about merit. What is the question from the Facebook? I have question that happiness from traveling, watching movie, eating does not produce merit. Ajahn said that happiness from meditation, charity, or doing other good deeds produce merit. They are equally happy, right? Especially
because the happiness you get from eating, drinking is fake happiness, not real happiness. It can turn into sadness very, very quickly.
But people also doing the happiness of going to trip with friend, eating with friend. This is also an action that make the group happy.
But
Does
temporarily, briefly, and it can become sadness when they cannot do it again. But with the practice of charity, you don't get sadness even when you cannot do it.
Okay. And especially the happiness of meditation is only enjoyed by the meditator, not felt by other people. Why can this action produce merit?
Because you treat other people better than when you're happy. You don't get angry at other people. You can be nice to other people when you're happy.
So be kind is the merit. Be kind.
Actually, merit is for yourself, not for other people. Everybody has to make their own merit.
So after we meditate, we feel happy and we just quiet. Is that also can produce merit?
Then you don't go shouting. When you're happy, you don't go shouting and yelling at other people. But if you're not happy, you can go yelling, shouting, and hitting people, hurting other people.
Yeah, maybe this is the logical explanation, and I understand now, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
All right, Ramin.
I have a question, Ajahn. I think it's from one of our previous sessions. It's about jhana. You mentioned the importance of attaining the fourth jhana and achieving ubekkha in order to develop wisdom, but I don't recall hearing you mention about the 5th to the 8th jhana. Is there a reason why you don't encourage us to go there? Or is it because it's not beneficial past the 4th jhana?
You don't get any more equanimity than that, than the 4th jhana. But if you are able, some people are able, capable, then they can go further. It means just that the mind becomes more calm and deeper into absorption, that's all. But as far as equanimity is concerned, it's the same. That's why the Buddha never mentioned, he only mentioned the 4th jhana in the sutta, I think, when he talked about developing samadhi. He didn't say you have to go into the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th jhana. Because it's not essential. You have the same equanimity. Once you pass the 4th jhana, you don't have any more equanimity. So you don't need to go into the arupa jhana. But if you are able, you have very strong mindfulness, and once you get to the 4th, then you can proceed to the 5th, the 6th, then you can go and do it, no problem. Nobody to stop you from doing it. But you have to be careful not to become attached to just the jhanas and forget that you have other work to do. That is the developing of wisdom. So when you are proficient with the jhanas, then you have to, when you're not meditating, then you should start contemplate on the 3 characteristics of existence. Put a stamp on everything with the 3 characteristics. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you touch or taste or smell, they are all 3 characteristics. They are anicca, dukkha, anatta. You have to put a stamp on everything, on your body, on your feeling, on your emotion. Everything is 3 characteristics. So that you can then let go and leave them alone. When you leave them alone, then you don't have anything to do.
Yes. It's clear, Ajahn. Thank you for your explanation.
Okay, you're welcome. Who else would like to ask more questions? Do we have newcomers yet? Sula usually come in about this time. Not yet. Don't be shy. We have quite a lot of time tonight. Yeah. So if you feel like contributing, or if you don't have any question, but you like to make any comment, you're welcome also to do so. Or maybe recommendation, what should we be doing besides just asking question and answer the question?
Okay, Belinda.
Belinda, okay.
Ajahn, sometimes when I talk to Ajahn, I feel a lot of sensation in the body, especially the heart area, very uptight. Sometimes the voice cannot be articulated. I'm wondering, what's the cause? Is this a karma, or is this a part of what is it that causing this?
The question should be how you deal with it rather than finding the cause. It doesn't matter what the cause is. What matters to you or to us is how to deal with it.
Yes.
And the way to deal with it is to treat it as an anatta, sabbe dhamma anatta, natural phenomena. Just leave it alone. Yeah. Okay.
And then when that, sometimes I can't even articulate, like I like grasping for breath. And when that happens, should I stop talking and then come back to anapanasati and just be in the present and get connected? Or do I, so when that and when that start,
when you start to grasp for something,
when I grasp for air, should I like stop talking? Like this moment, I don't have it. But you will come back on and off like
if
that.
you cannot talk, then you don't talk. What can you do? Yeah.
But if I can talk, but I don't speak very smoothly. Like I tend to, having, what's the word to use? I cannot find the vocabulary again. Like what is the word? You are nervous and you get like right now, like you speak and then you get stop and pause. Like he called it not hiccups. I cannot find the vocab now.
Okay, you cannot continue speaking smoothly.
Yes.
Well, then if you cannot, then don't do it. Excuse yourself. Say, oh, I like to take a break or something.
So when I talk to Ajahn, and if that happens, sometimes it can just strike at any moment. And when I can't speak, I just
stop. It's like when you have to go to the toilet, you just excuse yourself and say, okay, I cannot continue speaking right now.
Okay. And then I just stay quiet and come back to the breath. Or if I cannot come back to the breath, I just watch that uptightness. Is it, Ajahn?
Normally, just be mindful. Just keep watching and try not to react to what is happening. And let things develop and disappear by themselves if you can. Leave it alone. Unless you know how to get rid of it, stop it, then you do it. If you don't know what to do with it, then you just leave it alone. And just observe, just watch, just merely know. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right, Philip, raise your hand, Philip.
Ajahn, I got a question maybe to understand better. During last Sunday, there was a question with regards to an anagami, which I think one of the question was at the final stages of a anagami, the anagami needs to also relinquish the jhanas of material and immaterial jhanas. Is that what it is?
See, when we practice to let go of our sensual pleasure desire, we have to rely on a replacement, and our replacement are the jhanas. But once we have let go of our sensual pleasures, cravings, we can become attached to the jhanas. And if we become too attached to the jhana, then we will not be able to move ahead. We will not have liberation because we're still depending on something that is anicca. The jhana are anicca. And when you cannot enter into jhana, when you want to, you can still have dukkha. So in order to prevent to have dukkha from the jhanas, you must not rely on the jhanas to keep you happy. You have to let go of the jhana.
So
like when your mind is not calm, normally we will use the jhana to go into jhana to calm the mind. But if you use the jhana, then you have to rely on the jhana. And the jhana can only calm your mind temporarily. Sooner or later, you have to come out of jhana. And then you will have dukkha when you cannot enter into jhana. And you have to find out that the reason for your dukkha is because of your attachment to the jhana. Like your attachment to cigarettes, to alcohol. You use cigarette or alcohol to stop your nervousness. Some people smoke because they are nervous. When they feel nervous, they smoke. And once they they smoke, their nervousness might disappear. But then they become addicted or rely on smoking. So when they don't have any smoke, any cigarette for them to smoke, they can become more nervous than before. So if they don't want to deal with nervousness, they should just stop smoking.
Yes. So I know it's far away right now with regards to this question. So the practitioner at the point must know when to let go of this jhana in order to be enlightened.
Well, when you first got there, you might not know because you might still feel blessed with the jhana. You still feel happy with the jhana. But as you continue on, you'll find that you're still relying on something, which the goal is not to rely on anything, to keep you happy, to keep you really happy permanently. And you eventually notice that the jhana cannot give you the permanent happiness. Then you will then start to, if you study or it will be a lot more helpful because you know what you need to do. You have a roadmap. But if you have to practice on your own and don't know, you might get stuck there for a long time. Get stuck with the jhana. So you might need a roadmap like the teaching. You have to study the teaching to know what else you have to relinquish or get rid of, which are the remaining 5 fetters. And 2 of them are the attachment to the rupa jhanas and the rupa jhana.
Yes.
So with this, once you begin to seek the jhana to make you happy, then you know you're addicted to the jhana.
Okay.
Then you have to resist this desire to go into jhana and try to weather this lack of happiness without having to go into the jhana. And once you can weather this, the desire to get into jhana will disappear. And the unhappiness that arising from the desire to get into jhana will disappear. Just like the way you deal with the sexual desire. If you are addicted to sexual desire, you have to keep on doing your sexual activity. But if you realize that no matter how many times you do it, you will still end up craving for more. And the only way to stop this craving is to stop doing what your craving wants you to do. Once you stop, then eventually your craving will disappear. Then the need for you to have any sexual activity will disappear because you don't feel the need to, because you're happy without having it. Like anything, like alcohol, like cigarettes, like coffee, anything that you're addicted to, you don't need to have it to keep you happy.
Yeah.
But once you have it, you cannot stop having it. See? But if you have the wisdom to know that this is addiction and you will be forever slave to this addiction if you don't stop it. So then you have the wisdom to say, oh, I have to stop this craving for cigarette, craving for coffee, craving for things, because it makes me the slave of these things. Same thing with the jhana. See, and we use the jhana to substitute for our sexual craving. But then we become attached to the jhana. It's like people who try to stop smoking by using chewing gum or something. Then they become attached to chewing gum instead of the cigarettes. You know?
So Tanajan is like, once I cross the river, I have to just leave the boat alone, right? Is it
more or less something like that? Yeah, the boat only takes you across.
Don't carry the boat onto the land.
Right.
Understand?
Eventually, you have to stop practicing mindfulness and wisdom altogether, because mindfulness and wisdom is just a tool to get you to liberation. Once you are liberated, then you don't need to use wisdom or mindfulness anymore. Insofar as far as getting rid of your defilements, but you can continue using wisdom for other purpose, like teaching. When you teach, you have to think, what you gonna teach today? How you gonna present this teaching? You need to use wisdom or common sense, but you don't need to use it to get rid of your defilements anymore, because there are no defilements to get rid of anymore. It's like medicine that kills your sickness. Once your sickness is cured, then you don't take medicine anymore, because you don't get any benefit from taking the medicine anymore. So the Dhamma practice, the Noble Eightfold Path is the medicine to kill your dukkha. Once there are no dukkha left in your mind, then there's no need to use the Noble Eightfold Path anymore. It's like you said, the raft. Once you cross the river, then you don't carry the raft with you. You leave the raft at the river and you continue on walking, going wherever you want to go. Okay.
Thank you, Tanjay.
Okay, we have Alexa coming in. What happened to your eyes? You turned red today. Alexa.
Hello, teacher. You listen me?
Yes, yes.
Well, not red, it's orange, but maybe because the sun is shining on my face, then become red.
Oh, you're outside, huh?
Yes, under the tree.
I see, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I think more proper place to speak to my teacher. Yes.
Is this in front? Is this outside of your house?
Yes, my house is there behind. You see the tower 8?
The tower? You live on that tower?
Yeah, they offered me once long time ago to make some artist project, but I said I'm artist. I create. I'm not businessman. So I would be for art project. Now they made a theater and a bar, 2 floors, and but it's almost dead. Nobody uses it.
So you're staying up there? You're staying up there on the second floor?
No. I live in the building. You see,
you live next to it. Next to it. I see.
Yeah, I live in this white.
The gray building. The gray building.
Yeah. The building. I live there in the first floor on my right here.
I see. Okay.
And this is the inner garden. It's a very nice.
Yeah.
So I feel very, very. How say? It's like a monastery here. I told you.
Yeah, it looks quiet. It looks quiet.
Yeah, teacher, devils are everywhere, but I make peace with them because I listen to you. I don't move. Then things come into place.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, the thing is inside, and whatever is me, yeah, as a human being. So I'm related to everybody. So peace must come from inside myself, I guess. So. But I'm not thinking too much. It's difficult to think. And living more by insight, do what do I have to do in the moment. I have this dog now.
Yes.
And he's my partner. So I first think about him, not much more about myself. And because him, I have a rhythm 6 times a day walk and he is very nice kind of dog. He don't take much attention, and he learn very fast. So he goes by himself here inside. He do his necessities, and when I cook for me, I cook for him, and then I stop this thinking to move from here, because otherwise I know that when I get to retirement, then I start to think again to go to the monastery back and or family in Brazil. It's all how say the mind projecting future movements when it get boring. But boring is the thing, right? We have to get boring.
It's dukkha. Boring is dukkha.
Yeah, we have to stay boring. We have to learn to meditate is the best.
If you don't have any craving, there will be no boring.
Yes.
You're boring because you crave for something else. So you become boring with what you have because you want something different.
Well, when our activity is only meditation, teacher, and to get into the jhanas, to master in jhanas, that's my what I have to accomplish by you. You told me a long time ago, now master it. But then I decided to go to the monasteries, and then this was aside a little bit. I learned a lot of things, but this one I didn't master yet. You told me also to fasting 7 days. I did 17 days, not all and on the line, but so I learned a lot about this also. But yes, the only idea I have now is to master this the jhanas. It's upeka higher and higher and higher until I have been there, so I know how to do that.
Yes. Once you have upeka, you won't be boring. You won't have any boring. You can be anywhere and happy.
Yeah, it comes and goes. Huh? I noticed the boring is when I want to have after food a piece of chocolate or this kind of things, and then but it's not big deal. And well, I'm very happy because the dog every time this make my heart happy. You think that is kind of also how to say addiction?
Yes, because if someday you have to lose the dog and you'll become sad again.
I am not so sad about losing people. I lost my youngest brother, and I was not suffering. I lost many people. This thing I have already in mind was more like to have a rhythm, And but this thing that I feel happy in the morning or whatever time I look at him. So and I think it's kind of escape, yes, because but also in another hand, bring me down to earth to my work, because otherwise I'm completely alone. My friends are all gone,
Well, yeah, you're supposed to learn to live alone. That's the goal.
I'm escaping this one for now, teacher. I will try to master jhanas first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If you allowed me, I'm very as honest as I can be.
It's up to you. It's your life. You will not have to pay the price yourself, not me. Whatever you do.
Yeah, I know that I have a lot to go, teacher. That's the only thing I know. I have lots to go, but I feel like I have this condition. But also, this dog helped me with the problems I have around. Those people, they all fly away because they're afraid of him. He's very big. He's very young, 5 months, but he's very big. They ask, which race is that? I say, American Akita. And then they really fly away. So it's my friend now for
your bodyguard.
Yeah, yes, my bodyguard here. So a lot of problems. I know I got some problems, like you told me. That's not a real. I was supposed to live completely alone. I have one plan. Is the boat again? To have this flat and the boat to go without telephone, without food, with the dog. Because then I tell you the truth in my heart. Then I can go into the nature far away, because the worst animal that here is not tigers, is human beings. They can target you when they see you alone, and I still afraid to die like this. I'm afraid I still be afraid. I'm afraid. I'm shaking still. I'm not ready to go to the forest and say what will be. And I am not in this level yet.
Okay. Do more mindfulness, practice more mindfulness and jhana, and one day you'll be ready.
It's a time. Is not more. What I see, teacher. The last thing I want to say, I realized that it's not more about time because I forgot my history. All what happened to me. I don't think much more about this. It's more to intensity. It's more timing. It's more like how you say insight to be there all the time. And then maybe it don't take too long. That's my idea.
All right. I hope you get what you want.
I hope you see that. I hope I will reach it and you are there to see it. I hope, teacher.
Okay.
From my heart.
Okay.
From my heart.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, last person is Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee from Indonesia. You have anything to say?
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have anything to say. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. If nobody else have any more questions, I think I'll call this meeting to an end. Anybody? Okay, nobody. Okay. Oh, Paul, you have another question from Facebook? Paul or Paul? Unmute. Ask to unmute. Okay.
Okay, we have one question from Facebook from Christine. Should there not be any music playing while meditating?
Yes, there shouldn't be any music. You don't need music to meditate. Music can be a distraction rather than help. It can cause you to become addicted to music, and should the music stop, you might then not be able to meditate. So don't use any external source for your meditation practice. Use what you have with your body or your mind. Okay. Melinda, okay, one last question from you.
Ajahn, it's not a question, it's a suggestion.
Okay.
Ajahn, you say we have a lot of wisdom and it's a lot of knowledge, a lot of theory that we have. So if we, in the event in future, if we have extra time, is it okay that Ajahn lead us to do maybe 5-10 minutes guided meditation? If
it's useless. You can do it yourself. This is something you have to do it yourself, not for somebody to guide you. What is there to guide you? Everybody sit and watch the breath.
Yes.
But that's why this is something you do alone.
Yes.
Okay. No. Not you do with somebody else. Really, meditation is a personal practice, a private practice. But people turn around as a group practice, and they thought this is the way to practice, is to practice in a group. If they're not in a group, they cannot succeed in practicing. This is wrong, you know.
Ajahn, you mean group practice is wrong, Ajahn? There's no collective.
No, it's just psychological. It might be psychological in a way that force you to do the practice, because if everybody else is doing it, you have to do it yourself. But if you're alone, then you can have excuse, oh, I don't want to do it. And you know.
If it's a teacher who's talking in front, it's like
Doesn't matter who, even the Buddha sitting in front of you won't be able to help your meditation. It's your mindfulness that will help your meditation, not the Buddha, not the noble disciple, not anybody. Okay? All right. Thank you for your recommendation anyway.
I asked 3 times, Ajahn allowed 3 times.
Okay. Well, you can go do it now and pretend that I'm sitting in front of you. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your participation in this meeting tonight. I hope it benefits you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบสาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Goodbye.
Kevin.
Bye.
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 Thank you, admin.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.